Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome back to the Mild Manner Vlog. So, within the past week, we have received a lot of new little bits and tidbits from Hollywood about some upcoming comic book and television movies. So, I figured, why not just put it all in one little package for you and get all the information out for you in case you missed it. So first off is probably the one movie that I'm looking forward to the most that is on this list of information, and that is the Man of Steel sequel, also known as Batman vs. Superman. Of course, that's the working title still. Originally, it was slated to come out in 2015, but they've recently pushed it back to 2016. I can only assume that's because they want not a lot of competition with the Avengers movie, but also that they want to get the best product that they can get. But the most controversial news that has recently come out, other than the Batman Ben Affleck thing, which everybody lost their mind about, is the casting of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. First of all, I know what you're all saying. You wanted Bryan Cranston. He needs to be older. Well, Lex Luthor has not always been older than Superman. I mean, not significantly older. In the Smallville TV series, he's only about 2 years older than Clark. In the comics, like Birthright for example, he was about roughly the same age. They both grew up together. So what can we expect from Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor? Well, I'm going to say probably take a little bit of his Zuckerberg character from Social Network.
You don't think I deserve your attention?
I think if your clients want to sit on my shoulders and call themselves tall, they have a right to give it a try, but there's no requirement that I enjoy sitting here listening to people lie. You have part of my attention. You have the minimum amount. The rest of my attention is back at the offices of Facebook, where my colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing.
And mix in a little bit of the cockiness that you get from his character from Now You See Me.
Let me warn you. I want you to follow. Because no matter what you think you might know, we will always be 1 step, 3 steps, 7 steps ahead of you. And just when you think you're catching up, that's when we'll be right behind you. And at no time will you be anywhere other than exactly where I want you to be. So come close. Get all over me, because the closer you think you are, the less you'll actually see.
And that's the kind of person you'll get. Lex Luthor has not always been a big, buff, kind of beat-em-down villain. He's always been one that fights with more of his intellectuals. He's a self-made billionaire in some cases. In Smallville, he kind of was born into his wealth. So he could be basically the Zuckerberg type, the self-made millionaire, or he could be like Bruce Wayne and born into it. We'll just have to wait and see. Along with the Jesse Eisenberg news, we were also given the information that Jeremy Irons is going to be playing Alfred. Jeremy Irons, who you might know as the voice of Scar from The Lion King, or as Hans Gruber's brother in Die Hard with a Vengeance. He's basically played kind of the darker, grittier, notorious British roles. It's a nice choice to go with following Michael Caine's interpretation in the Dark Knight series. Also, as many of you already know, you've got Wonder Woman in this series, played by Gal Gadot. By the way, Gal Gadot you might recognize from the Fast and the Furious series. Some people are saying she's too small, but I mean, look what they did for Henry Cavill. If they can build up Henry Cavill to be that muscular, and if they're pushing back and getting this much time, I'm sure they can get her built up and looking like Wonder Woman. So basically now in this movie, you're going to have the Trinity. You're going to have Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman in this movie. All you need is about 4 other characters and you've got a Justice League movie. And in the last bit of kind of DC movie news and Man of Steel type Batman Superman news is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has had meetings with Warner Brothers and is set to do something with them in 2014. Now recently in a Instagram he posted, he had the hashtag of Jon Stewart could whoop Superman's ass. So people are hinting that maybe he could be playing Jon Stewart in a Justice League movie and or Batman Superman. We'll have to see. I'm not sure if he'd really fit the Jon Stewart role, but I think he would definitely fit another Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern, Simon Baz. By the way, also along with the Jeremy Irons and Jesse Eisenberg news this week, they released that Jeff Johns has become an executive producer on Batman Superman. So DC really is a part of this and is going to be helping them with every little bit. Okay, so Sunday was the Super Bowl, or the lack thereof game basically, but there were a lot of new trailers that aired during the Super Bowl. 2 of them for movies that we've already seen kind of trailers for, and 1 that was a brand new trailer. First off, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In this trailer, they're teasing a lot of Sinister Six stuff, And maybe did we get a glimpse of what's going to happen to Gwen Stacy? They really kind of teased her death, but I don't know if that's really going to happen in this movie. Where would the love triangle be then for the next one once you introduce Mary Jane Watson? Also in Amazing Spider-Man 2 news, it was released that BJ Novak's character, the person he's playing, is actually Alistair Smythe. His father in the comics created these robots that are called Spider Slayers, which, as you can guess, hunt down Spider-Man throughout New York. Kind of your sentinels, so to speak, of the Spider-Man universe. Possible villain for the next movie? Another trailer we saw at the Super Bowl, Captain America 2 Winter Soldier. Not much more in this. We got a little bit more Falcon in this, and we also got a little bit more of Black Widow in this, and what her little gauntlets that are on her arms, what they do. But there was some other news that was released about the post-credits sequence for Cap 2. Now, I'm going to flash up the spoilers here and give you a little info. Okay, so the spoiler. It's been rumored that the end credits sequence of Captain America Winter Soldier is going to introduce the Marvel Universe to some twins. Well, there's only 2 twins that really have been cast recently, and that would be Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the kids of Magneto. So, and they were also cast recently for the Avengers 2. So we might get our first look at the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And the third trailer we saw was for Transformers 4, Age of Extinction. And also, this is the first bit of footage we've actually seen of the new Transformers movie. Basically what I got from this trailer is we've got a lot of explosions, machines with guns. Explosions, machines with guns, explosions. Daddy! That's all I got from this trailer. Of course, you also got the introduction of possible Dinobots in this movie. And Optimus Prime is riding a Dinobot, also known as Grimlock. I don't know. At first, I thought he was riding a dragon. So I'll just have to see. I don't know what you're doing, Michael Bay, but we'll just have to wait for some more footage. And last but not least, we have some X-Men Days of Future Past news. Empire recently released a 25 cover series, basically individual issues of each character from the movie. It's pretty sweet because it's our first little look at all the different characters of Days of Future Past as we wait for another trailer. The movie actually comes out May 23rd, but on the covers we got to see everything from past characters to future characters. It's pretty sweet. So here's a little glance at all 25 different covers. First of all, we got one of the Sentinels from the past, one of the original Sentinels. Then of course we have Havoc, who was in X-Men First Class. Our first look at a past Toad, not played by Ray Park though. A young William Stryker. Bolivar Trask, the man who basically created the Sentinels. The young Mystique, the version from X-Men First Class, played by Jennifer Lawrence. The young Beast, not the Kelsey Grammer version. Our first look at the X-Men version of Quicksilver. I don't know, it kind of looks a little weird with the goggles, but we'll have to see how it is in the movie. Our past version of Magneto with the awesome looking red armor and helmet. The past Professor X, who is standing on this cover. Didn't he get shot at the end of First Class? Then we have the past/current Wolverine. You can tell he's current because of the bone claws. Then not a character really, but you have the director Bryan Singer on a cover. Then you have future Wolverine, who now has metal claws again and a little bit of gray hair. Then you have future Professor X, and then also future Magneto. Also Storm, not with a mohawk, but still with the short hair. And interestingly, Rogue has a cover. Bryan Singer mentioned that he had to cut her part out of X-Men Days of Future Past because the movie is just getting too long and her part is just a little bit of a sidetrack. Then you got a couple new characters coming up here. You got Warpath, and of course you've got Kitty Pryde, played by Ellen Page, Sunspot, Blink, Iceman. Then we got one of my favorite future characters, Bishop. And then we got Colossus. It's so awesome to see Colossus actually getting a larger role in this movie. Then, of course, the future Sentinels. So we have the early Sentinel going to the future Sentinel. These covers got me really pumped for the movie, and I can't even wait for the trailer. Heck, I can't even wait for May 23rd when this movie comes out. Also, Bryan Singer has also announced that they're going to do X-Men Apocalypse after this. So we are going to get another X-Men movie basically right after this, and they're all going to be in continuity, which is going to be pretty freaking sweet. So that's basically a little wrap-up of the comic book movie news that happened within the last about month or so. Hope it was helpful to get you a little excited about some of these movies. By the way, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter. You'll get updates of when our videos are posted. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter for the Oscar contest we have coming up. You'll have to be following us to actually be able to win a possible prize. We'll have an episode about Oscars coming up soon, so make sure you click and follow us there. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Click on the like button down there to tell us you like this video. Maybe we'll do more of them. For the Mild Mannered Vlog, I'm Chris. So Transformers, the wording's all off the. I'm just gonna have to wing this. So the Transformers movie, sorry, I can't do this. Click on one of these things down here.